Good morning, baseball fans. It is, I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday, October 24th. It is the morning after the shellacking of the ALCS, but we're not going to talk about that much over here right now, because today I have a special treat for you guys today. Today I have Bill from Top Fan Rivalry. I can't say rivalry very well, so it's gonna be a chore to pronounce that all day long. So that's fun. So if you are new around here, I am Susie. This is Bourbon and Baseball. I have no bourbon because it is 11 o'clock in the morning. And typically, you know, we don't drink the bourbon anyways. It's typically like vodka or tequila or water. So uh, again, if you're new around here, this is
I got my water.
typically a not safe for work podcast. This episode will probably be a little bit more safe for tiny ears and work. The Top Fan Rivalry is a little bit more family friendly, so I try to keep it a little bit more family friendly. So, um, this episode in and of itself, again, will probably be a little bit more safe for work if you listen to any of the other episodes. However, just be warned, there's lots of cussing, so many cussings words, all of them, and a little bit more adult humor. Not so much on this one though, so you're safe. Again, Bill, welcome. How are you today?
I'm excellent. I do have a little humor though. I can't wait to get into that. But yes, absolutely. I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Oh
I'm
no,
excited.
thank you. So last week I was invited on the Top Fan Rivalry. I really can't say it. Rivalry site um pod, and Bill and I had a wonderful chat. So I will drop that episode link also in the description so that you can enjoy my antics over there. And we just had such a great time that I was like, Bill, come on over here. You can let loose a little bit more over here, Bill, because my audience is used to me, all four of them. So feel free to, drop any sort of adult humor and or cuss words you like over here. So but Bill, how did you start Top Fan Rivalry, and really why?
It was funny. It was during COVID.
Mhm.
I had a really good friend of mine call me up and he says, "Hey, we need to start a podcast or at least a YouTube channel." And I started laughing. I said, "Nobody's going to listen to this." And he says, "No, no, no, we really need to do this." And I said, nobody's going to. So I'm a Dodger fan. He's a huge Angel fan. And my brain works differently when it comes to business. When I see something that I think is fun,
Uh-huh.
I go all out.
Okay.
Like I'll go all out. Somebody needs help on something. I'm the guy that you call because when I come into a scenario, I'm going to go all out with you. And so it took him about 3 months to convince me that we should do this. The season started, I want to say, in like June of 2020. Um, by March of 2020, we had kind of launched, got the name, started the business, formed an LLC. And then early on, I realized I was doing all the work, and all that he was looking for really was the cash and clickbait. And so, being the business guy that I am, I said, all right, uh, let's bring in a third partner to help, handle these disputes.
Right.
Have any? And he says, why don't you just buy me out? I think at this time, Susie, I think the company had made maybe $8. I'm like, so you want me to give you $4 and go away? Like,
Right?
you know, he knew the price, and I started laughing because it was significantly more than $8. But I said, okay, this is to get you to go away. Fine. I love you. I still want to be your friend. I think you're amazing. And so I bought him out, and then we started our podcast the way that I wanted to, and just rolled from there. I mean, it's the things that the community that we're building right now has just been so much fun. You included. I mean, I laughed so hard. If you haven't listened to Susie's episode yet, I knew Susie was my person when I asked her something about math, and she says, I'm the wrong Asian to do math.
This is true.
I'm like,
This
okay,
is true.
if she could say that, this is my gal. She's not going to get offended by something.
Yeah.
So this is great. So that's how it all started. I mean, we've done, I don't know, maybe 300 episodes on the podcast, and continue to go forward. It's just been a lot of fun. Lot of baseball people want a voice and they don't know how to get it,
Right.
and so provide the fan the voice. And so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, no, that's very cool. I love that. Now you guys are planning a conference, get
Mhm.
together, summit. I don't exactly remember what you're calling it, but it's in
Fan
Vegas when?
Fan Fest
Fan Fest. There we go. Okay.
in Las Vegas, Nevada in January. Are you coming, by the way?
I am not, but props to you for pronouncing Nevada correctly because kudos.
You're
Living
not.
living in the
You're
in Texas, I have to keep correcting people about how to pronounce it, and then they wanna argue with me as if I didn't grow up there. And they're like, "No, that's," and I'm like, I promise you that it is not Nevada." That would be like me coming to Texas and saying Tex-ass. You see how the wrong emphasis on
yeah.
the wrong syllable just kinda
Well,
annoys you?
it's like being in Texas and saying y'all instead of saying y'all. Right? I mean, listen, I think we're gonna cancel it now that you're not coming. That's it. I'll make arrangements. We're gonna cancel it. Susie's not gonna be there. That's it. We're done. We're out.
Well, you
All
know, if
calls.
uh, maybe next year we can try and plan a little bit ahead of time. Like I said, you know, I've got 8-year-old twin daughters, and unfortunately, I can't impromptu plans with 8-year-old twins is not my jam, unfortunately.
I know, but you can gamble them. Say, hey, listen, put them on the table and say, hey, listen, this is my auntie right here.
You know, I tried that one time and some people got very, very angry with me, like, the
Uh,
angry words were spoken, you know, they also got mad when I wanted to put them in, like, my dog kennel and just be like, "Okay, well, you got food, you got I don't understand." Don't come for me, okay? It's a joke, people, okay?
uh,
Um, so, yeah, no, but I would love that, and, you know, I was
next
raised in
year,
Vegas, so
next,
it would be great to go back home for a little bit.
and like I said, I'll be out in Houston in a couple of weeks. So
Oh, fun.
make sure that we'll have to make sure to figure out a way to connect. That would be great.
Is that the hat thing
Yes,
that Big Dave was talking about?
yeah,
Okay. What is
yeah,
that? What is
out
that?
in Houston.
Plug all the things.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
What
plug all the things. So we're gonna
yes.
be in the Hat Summit next month, and then obviously we are going to be at in Las Vegas, Nevada, not Nevada,
Okay.
in January. And
Okay.
so, and then we have a ton of things planned. We just calendared out. Megan and Amber and I just calendared out the entire 2024. It looks like we're going to be in 12 or 13 different ballparks this season.
That's awesome.
Like, I have watch parties. We'll have get-togethers. We'll have a ton of things. We're going to do some collabs. Tonight, we're announcing one with Big Dave of the Houston Hat Crew. That's exciting. And I think you and I are going to be working on potentially putting together something as well. So hopefully that pans itself out for 2024. So we got a lot
I'm
going
looking
on.
forward to it. I'm
We're
looking forward to it.
definitely not. The season has not ended. It does not end next week at Top Fan Rivalry.
No. So for those that are interested in any of those, I will put the links to all of those in the episode description afterwards. So look for all of those things to click on and get information on after this. Um,
Mhm.
so Bill, you did say that you were a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
Welcome. It's a safe space here. We dislike most Dodgers
Thank you.
fans, but obviously not you. So, consider yourself lucky. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
There's
I consider myself blessed. I'll pat myself on the
yes, yes.
because we're blessed.
There's a handful of Dodgers fans that we talk and I am okay with. So, um but so you are a Dodgers fan. How did it feel for the Diamondbacks of all of
Oh.
all teams to
So baseball, you never look past a team, right? You're never not supposed to look past a team.
right,
But honestly, when the Diamondbacks were playing the Brewers always play the Dodgers tight in October.
right.
So I was a huge Diamondbacks fan that series. And when the Diamondbacks swept them, I'm like, all right, this I hate to admit it, but I almost felt like we got a clear path to the league championship series. Giddy up, right? And then the first game, I thought, all right, well, some mistakes. I was at game two, and Susie, I'm terrible to watch baseball games live with because I understand the strategies and different things. And I'm like, the other day, I'm literally yelling at the TV, it's bases loaded for you guys. Your Don's up. And I'm yelling at the TV, walk them, right? It's
Yeah.
a single, and they score 2 runs. You guys score 2 runs. And I'm like, see, if you would have walked me, you only gave up 1 run. Right. And so I'm not good. And so I watched that game. It was after game 2 and they went back to Arizona. I thought, this is going to be embarrassing. And so it was tough. But the same time, I'm going to use a term that you're familiar with, being from Nevada. We were playing with house money because we weren't supposed to be that good. The Padres were supposed to just kill the division this year. The Giants were supposed to get a little bit better. The Diamondbacks were supposed to get a little bit better. We were supposed to come in 3rd or 4th place this season, especially after injuries to Gavin Lux, Dustin May, Walker Buehler not coming back, Clayton Kershaw spending most of his time on the IL, bringing up guys that we never thought we were going to bring up. So we were playing with house money. If we got to the championship series, I was pretty confident. Didn't matter if it was going to be Philly or Atlanta. I felt like we weren't going to get past them. So, but to get swept by the Diamondbacks, yeah, it stings a little bit. Trust me, I'm going to go out to Arizona next year and just start booing. Ooh, ooh.
That's fun. Yeah, so I love the Diamondbacks. I love the Diamondbacks last season. I was so excited to watch Corbin and Alec Thomas and Jake McCarthy and that just whole like young outfield just rake. And then, like Jake and Alex had their ups and downs, and Corbin has just been Corbin Carroll, like, throughout this season. And, they got Lourdes out there. And then the fact that they DFA'd Madison Bumgarner, I was shocked. And again, for those for the Top Fan Rivalry crew that aren't familiar with my story, I only became a fan of baseball in and of itself in 2018. So there's a time what that I like to refer to as before Baseball Susie and after Baseball Susie. And after Baseball Susie only knows 5+ ERA Madison Bumgarner. Okay. And now for those baseball fans that have been here a while, just shake their head and they're like, absolutely not. So when I found out that Madison Bumgarner had not always been 5+ ERA, Madison Bumgarner, my mind was blown. I watched the Giants, one of the Giants World Series wins, and I remember tweeting out, I'm sorry, Madison Bumgarner was good. And they're like, oh my gosh, Susie, I can't with you. And I'm like, again, after 2018, like you can talk smack to me. Before 2018, you can't, because I literally I'm a child when it comes to that. And so my husband just shakes his head and he's like, I can't with you. Just yes, Madison Bumgarner was amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, and that I watched the I'm gonna just rub the salt in the wound a little bit longer for the Rangers fans, because I watched that Rangers Cardinals World Series where they're literally 1 strike away, and Nelson Cruz missed that fly ball. And again, now frame this, guys, frame this. Remember, 2018 was the first season that I ever watched baseball. So I don't know right fielding Nelson Cruz. I only know DH Nelson Cruz. Okay. So the fact that Nelson Cruz was in right field again blew my mind. And I'm screaming at the TV, oh my God, as if I couldn't just Google who won this, like, the series, or who. And that was part of the whole thing, was I needed to live react to these games without knowing anything. And if you look on YouTube somewhere, there are my like actual live reactions, like watching this game. So, but it blew my mind that they were down to the 1 strike, and that's what happened. And then they didn't win the next game, but that's neither here nor there. So it again, so the fact that Madison Bumgarner was a good pitcher at one point in time and just pitched, because I looked it up one time, I was like, he's not that old, he's like 32. But then I realized when he came up, I was like, oh, okay, so in baseball years you were 93 years old. Gotcha, your arm is 90. Yep. Okay, I got it, Madison Bumgarner. But the fact that that a team was like, okay, look, Madison, here, you just take your money and go to your ranch and, I don't know, play with rattlesnakes or whatever you're gonna do, and just we'll be over here. You go over there. We will pay you to go away.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, all right, D-backs, you were for reals with it, and they really only have that 1-2 punch of Zach Allen, Merrill Kelly, and, Brandon Pfaadt has come up. For a little while, they had, like, Tommy Henry in their rotation. Um,
Mhm.
and there's just been a revolving carousel of starting pitchers that they're, like, inserting here and there, and as always, we have Astros fans have a little bit of a soft spot for the D-backs because of the pitching wizard, Brent Strom over there, so, you know, I
Well,
I really
and
feel that all
Gurriel,
Astros fans should be going for the Diamondbacks just for that fact alone.
right? I mean, you had
Yes,
his team
yes,
for a lot of years, right?
yes.
Purple.
We
Uh,
I love Lourdes, and he does play with a little bit of that fire that Yuli did, and so, I would love to sign Lourdes Gurriel to the Astros. That would be amazing, but we'll talk about that. That's not this episode. We'll talk about that
so
later.
you know what would be a fun research project for you?
Oh, yes. Do tell.
Go at some point. Go research out Madison Bumgarner and Yasiel Puig.
Is that the one that would lick his bat all the time?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that one. I don't
Well,
know if I can do
no.
that
So
one,
these
no.
guys would get into fights all the time,
Like
and
actual fights or like
oh,
what we have
yeah,
here?
yeah. So Madison, as you know, was the guy that just pitched with fire. He couldn't like not pitch with fire, right? And so, so it started years and years and years ago where there was a ground ball and Madison said something to him it was like a ground ball to first base and Yasiel Puig's running out. Madison's kind of running over to cover and realizes he doesn't have to cover. And I don't know what Madison said to Yasiel Puig. Now picture this: Yasiel Puig is about 6'1", 6'2", 250, built solid rock. Madison Bumgarner is 6'1", 6'2", 180 with a dad bod, right? And so, no disrespect, Madison, I got one too, but I'm a little older than you. But um, so I don't know what he said to him. I don't know if he said something in Spanish about his mother or his grandmother or something like that. But Yasiel did not like it and went right after him. And ever since that time, they'd go back and forth and, would have these issues. And so Madison would, drill Puig, or Puig would hit a home run and just stare at it and watch it. I mean, there were a number of bench clearing situations. Go look that up.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's a,
Okay.
at
I'll
one when Madison was a free agent, people were talking about signing him as a Dodger, and I'm like, you can't do that. Max Muncy would kill him.
That's so fun. I'll have to go research that. That's funny. Yeah. And so,
So
oh my goodness.
Max also, sorry to interrupt you there,
No,
but Max also hit a home run in San Francisco, which became famous because he hit it and he kind of watched it for a second and started running. Well, Madison, as he's rounding first, Madison's kind of following him, yelling at him, screaming at him. And Max said something to him and pointed to the right field bleachers. Apparently, Max, um, apparently, Bum said something to him. Mad Bum said something to him, and Max is like, "If you want the ball, go get it out of the lake." So the guy created a shirt that said, "Max, Madison, you want the ball, go get it out of the lake."
Oh my
And
gosh, that's so
yeah,
funny.
it was pretty awesome. So yeah,
Yeah,
he's
see,
not welcome in other country.
these are the stories that I need. Like I said,
Yeah,
before 2018, it was just a big black hole of no baseball knowledge.
yeah.
So, so what are your feelings on the D-backs Phillies? Like in my heart of hearts, I really want the Diamondbacks to win it, but like
Yeah.
the brain says it's probably gonna be Phillies.
So if you're looking at it on paper, the Philadelphia Phillies are going to crush them tonight, right? If you're looking at it on paper, the problem is the game's not played on paper. If you look at the statistics last night, the Diamondbacks stole 4 bases, the Phillies stole one. And who won, right? The
Yeah.
Diamondbacks' MO this season is get them on, get them over, get them in.
But they hadn't been
That's
playing like that during literally any of the championship, and that was, like, one of the big talking points. They're all, "Excuse me, Diamondback sirs, What are we doing? Why are we not stealing any bases?
hmm But uh, but you have two players there, Marquis or Marte and Carroll, that can like steal your lunch without even thinking twice about it.
Yeah.
And so the Diamondbacks get on today and start running, they're going to win. If not, if you're going to shoot for the long ball, Philadelphia's going to win that game. So if the Diamondbacks can get on and get the crowd out of it, then they're going to win. I say advantage Philly because that 10th man out there, that stadium gets loud, and I guarantee you they're not showing up to lose Game 7 in their own hometown.
This is true.
So advantage Phillies, but do I think the Diamondbacks can make it happen? Absolutely.
Yeah, I was watching that D-backs game yesterday, and known speedster first baseman Christian Walker stole
Yeah.
a base. I'm all, oh, okay. So it's just gonna be all the guys that you don't expect to run. Got it. I got it.
No,
I see the
Christian
plan.
Walker didn't steal the base. He freaking stole the guy's lunch. He was halfway to second before the guy even delivered the pitch.
Yeah. Uh,
Like all the guy needed to do was step off, and Christian Walker was like caught. But it was when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, somebody's not paying attention. Somebody's going to get reamed in the dugout.
yeah. So I mean, again, looking at that Phillies D-backs series, the fact that the D-backs had won the Brandon Pfaadt start, first off, the bullpen start,
Yep.
you're like, I don't, how is this a thing? You lose the Zach Gallen Merrick-Kelly start, which, eh, if you just think about it rationally, you're like, okay, well, those are the games that you would kind of have the chance to win. No, it's going to be Brandon Pfaadt, who is literally a rookie, has his best outing of the freaking series. Well, really season. I mean, what? I think he went 5.2 or 5.3. No, 5.2. 5.3 would be 6. 5.2 innings. Again, not a math pod. And struck out 9, or yeah, I think it was 9.
Mhm.
Season high. And I want to say it's a D-back rookie record. Don't fact check me on that. Well, maybe fact check me, but like, do it gently and respectfully in the comments, peoples. But Brandon Pfaadt goes out there and just shoves, and there was a little bit of barking from the peoples because he had been shoving. He had been literally, I think he had given up maybe 3 hits or 2 hits at that point in time, and people were like, "Leave him in, Tori. What are you doing?" And the line was about to flip over again, and he
Mhm.
had struck out Kyle Schwarber, and Kyle Schwarber, I mean, just looked silly his first 2 at bats, just, and I'm like, "I don't like it. I understand why he's doing it. You haven't tempted fate.
Yeah.
You're gonna tempt fate again? No. Your bullpen has been pretty good for you. They
Yeah.
hadn't used the big high leverage arms, and go to your high leverage arms and let the rookie have his ego be a little bit puffed up because you had gone through this vaunted Phillies lineup and struck out 9 and had done this amazing thing." And that's kind of what Tori had said after that start, and I was like, "That's good. That not letting your rookie starting pitcher see the lineup for a third time so that they could tee off on him, that's smart. It's very smart.
Very
If you are detecting notes of saltiness, you would be correct. So, but that's, neither here nor there.
So
Imagine a
watch it.
manager doing that.
You watch today, Susie. You know who's going to win this game? I'll tell you. It starts in the first inning, and I'll bet you a Bucky's sandwich. How's that? Being, for those of you that aren't familiar with that, I just offered her gold if you're from the Houston area. So,
So funny enough though, the town that I'm in, that I
uh-huh,
live in, Bucky's was created here.
there you go. So then you understand.
Yeah.
So I'll bet you a Bucky's sandwich right here and right now. Top Fan Rivalry will buy you a Bucky's sandwich, and what do they call them? Bucky's. What's the? You said them the other day. The nuts or whatever
Oh,
they are.
the beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets. Yeah. So I'll give you a bag of beaver nuggets, and I'll give you a Bucky's sandwich.
I'll take a
If I
chicken and cheese crispito instead. How about that? The real ones will down here will know, but I will
okay,
take those. Yes, please.
that's fine. So I'll bet you right now. Here's how this rolls. If in the first inning either team can get the opposing pitcher to throw at least 25 pitches and score 1 run in the first inning, if that happens, that team wins.
Okay.
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 So, but if it doesn't happen in the first inning, all bets are off because then you kind of get the momentum. But if either pitcher gives up 25 or more pitches in the first inning and gives up a run, that team's going to lose.
Okay. All right. Is it Ranger Suarez? Are they bringing Ranger
Yeah.
Suarez back? Okay.
Yeah. Schwartz versus Fott.
Okay. So it'll be a fun little thing. Hopefully lightning will strike twice and Brandon Fott uh can replicate his other performance. That would be awesome. I would love that. I wouldn't be horribly sad if the Phillies win this game. Tip my hat because, if you can manage that lineup of, Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper multiple times without giving up multiple home runs, shout out to you because
Shout out.
that's that is a vaunted lineup, and when they're all clicking, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous lineup.
It is. It is. Agreed. Agreed. Completely.
So, well, okay, so then what am I giving? What am I giving you? Wait, which side am I taking here, or which side are
So
you taking?
I'm saying that if that happens and that team doesn't win,
Uh huh.
I'm buying Bucky's.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. If not, if all bets are off if we go in the second inning, it doesn't happen. But if it does happen where one of the pitchers in the first inning gives up at least 25 pitches and 1 run
Uh huh.
and they still win, then you're
Okay.
buying Bucky's. How's that?
Okay. That's fine. That
Fair
okay.
enough.
That'll. I agree to the terms.
Agreed to the term.
Perfect.
No lawyers involved. We just got the terms. That's
All right.
yeah.
So yeah, obviously, we have to talk about, unfortunately, the ALCS. If you are on audio only, if you want to go to the YouTube side and see my shirt, feel free. But YouTubers, I am wearing my, let's see, forever,
Ever
not just,
asked.
yep, not just when we win. Okay, that's that is the sentiment right now. Um,
Can we just talk about a funny thing that happened? Like I look for funny things in baseball.
sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Can we talk about Nathan Eovaldi's face when Jonah Heim took that foul ball off of Pena's bat?
Jonah
Can
Heim
we?
doesn't need any children, okay?
I mean, did you see my post, Susie? That I
Yeah.
like. It was so fun because I saw it happen live, and I'm like, oh, he just got double dribbled. And then when you see the umpire walk out to give him the ball, and you see Nathan's face, I had to rewind it. I'm like, I got to get pictures of this real quick. This
That's
is the
so
funny. Sometimes in baseball, there's funny things that happen. Like Adrian Beltre used to always call off or get called off by Elvis Andrus, but he acted like he was, going to catch a fly ball. Susie, you got to watch old Adrian Beltre clips of before 2018.
okay.
Like he used to do fun. So he got in a rundown at the juice box between third and home,
Uh-huh.
and he was going to get tagged out, and he ran up the line towards left field. And the umpire's like, "You're out." It was just he would do stuff like he'd slide into a base and have his hand on the base, and the glove would be on it, and then he'd stick his other hand on the base, and they put the glove with the other hand, and they do that back and forth. It's just fun stuff. But can we just talk about Nathan Eovaldi's face? If you haven't seen it, just go to TopFanRivalry's Instagram or go someplace and look at it. It was hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah, I'd seen, I missed it originally, and I saw the replay of it, and I was like, "Oh, Jonah just taking a foul ball to the cojones is just not." I was like, "That it's painful." I'm like, "It's painful for me, and I don't even have any." So, I can only imagine what the gentlemen are feeling right now. So, um, but yeah, so that ALCS shellacking that we took,
Mhm.
yeah, and it's just so mind-boggling. And if you this episode will come out after my um emotional damage episode. Obviously, that's out currently. Um that episode is definitely not safe for work, and there's lots of F-bombs, and if you like Dusty Baker and or the words "In Dusty we trusty" has ever passed your lips, you should probably not listen to that episode. You will be mad at me and just be like, "This girl doesn't know ball." So probably don't listen to that episode. But the fact that we couldn't win one home game this series is just I don't know. I don't know if we need to sacrifice the live chicken. Just kidding. We're not actually doing that. That's allegedly. And
Papers.
putting the Vicks vapor rub on the feet. I don't know who's Mexican grandma. We need to go get like the egg and do all of the things. I don't know if that needs to happen, but maybe it does. And or just replicate Arlington's batter's eye. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why we couldn't win one single game at home. I don't know.
Unfortunately, that was the whole season, Susie. That
Yeah.
wasn't just the ALCS.
Oh yeah, no. I'm fully aware, and I'm partially blaming this season and the fact that we did not go farther
Mhm.
on Dusty Baker. That's just it. It is what it is because the roster construction and the roster management and the mismanagement of players is just through the roof. Through the roof.
Interesting point. I'm going to bring up something else, but I'm going to ask you before I do that, what would have you done differently? So you're in the dugout, okay? You're managing the club.
Okay.
Besides for eyes at Jeremy Pena and other things like that, you're in the dugout and
Is
you're
this
now
is this for
manager.
this series or is this
Just,
over
just for
the entire season?
no, just for the series. What are you
Okay.
going to do? You won the division, right? And you took care of business in the divisional series. What are you going to do in the league championship series that you didn't do all throughout the season? Like, are you talking about starting Diaz over Maldi? What are you talking about?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But see, unfortunately, starting Diaz over Maldi would have been a thing that needed to happen in the regular season so that people were more comfortable and he himself would be more comfortable at the plate in bigger leverage situations. And the fact that he wasn't played more often and the fact that he never caught JV or Fromber
Hmm.
is just a travesty. Because at what point in time, if for some reason Maldi got hurt, like really, really hurt that he couldn't catch, now we're just all the way screwed because Yiner has now been thrust into this situation in which
Not just partially,
he yeah,
all
not
the
just
way.
partially, all the way, yeah. No, this was the partially screwed, like, because Maldi was out there, and 36-year-old Maldi playing 1,003 innings, his knees are about to explode. He could not have felt good this season, and I don't know, maybe, just maybe, if he got some rest and not played every day, all of the innings, maybe his bat would have been better because he wouldn't be so tired.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not I don't want to say that I wanted Yiner to start over Maldi every day, all day.
Hmm.
But the fact that Maldi literally would play, like normal teams, day game after a night game, that pitcher or that catcher is not starting. Routinely. Day
Okay.
game after night game, Maldi, come on down. And what are we doing here? Why? Like, he's got to be tired. He caught all 9 innings, or if the whole okay, JV and Fromber have their favorite personal catcher. All right, the second that they go out, Maldi, have a seat. Yiner, come on in. The fact that that runs were at a premium at some points at times in this season, and that literally when Yiner is behind the dish, his numbers are rival Jordan. And fact check me on that, guys, because when I tell that to people, they're shocked. They're shocked because they only would kind of tune in and see Yiner as a DH or Yiner as a pinch hitter, and when he is only a DH, his numbers are subpar. He's a very average to below average hitter, and I'm like, yes, but look at his numbers when he's catching, guys. Do you want to know the top guy in our lineup this season that had the best numbers at Minute Maid?
Kyle Tucker.
Nope.
Ooh.
Yainer Diaz.
Oh, okay.
Yainer Diaz.
Kyle Tucker.
No, Yainer Diaz. And poor Kyle Tucker. He's going to take some arrows here shortly, but first things first. Yainer Diaz, the guy who literally didn't get to play at all ever. Best numbers at Minute Maid.
So here's the thing that the Astros are going to struggle with. And see, this is one of the things that the Dodgers do really well, but we haven't had the success in the last 8 years that you guys have had. But could the next 8 years be a little bit better? So the Dodgers have guys like James Outman, who have come up. They've got Gavin Lux, who are rookie. Like, they've got intermingled in their starting rotation, in their starting lineup, in their pitching rotation, younger guys. Whereas the Astros are starting to realize that they got to get younger with Jeremy Pena and with Diaz, but we're still holding on to Maldonado, Breckman, Altuve. You guys signed Jose Abreu, Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley's rookie season was with Mickey Mantle. I mean, he's been around the block. He's built the block a couple of times. So you guys are getting older and not younger. Meanwhile, what's Texas doing?
Spending $500 million on an infield. No, I'm sorry. That's very salty of me. However, their farm system is very good, and they have a manager that when a rookie comes up and plays really well, he capitalizes on that and says, "Evan Carter, come on down. Hey, I'm gonna put you down in the order. You're gonna bat 7th, 8th. Hey, look at that, Evan Carter. You're working counts. You're getting on base. You're hitting home runs. You know what? Let's move you up in the order just a little bit. Hey, Evan Carter, rookie phenom, that nobody had heard about you. Let's bat you 3rd. Still doing great. Okay, Travis Jankowski, have a seat. I'm not saying that they don't care about Travis Jankowski. However, when Evan Carter's play literally outshone, and that's really the other thing, because Travis Jankowski had been playing really well, and his numbers were really good for Travis Jankowski. But the fact that Evan Carter was outplaying him, Bruce Bochy says, "You know what? I'm sorry, Travis. Evan Carter, come on down." And at any point in time, and it's funny when people that didn't watch the Astros all day, every day, like the bigger podcast people, would say, "Oh, that's okay because it's the regular season, and when it comes to the postseason, Dusty will do the things, and he will." No, he won't. No, he won't. He won't,
Well, see,
because he got outmanaged.
I listen, and maybe that's true. Bruce Bochy has 3 rings. I mean, maybe that's true. The thing that I get concerned about blaming the manager, and I don't disagree with you that Dusty made some questionable moves. I'm not going to disagree with you that. The reason why I have a difficult time blaming the manager. So out here in LA, everybody wants to fire Dave Roberts. Wait a second. Dave Roberts didn't go 1 for 21. That was Mookie and Freddie. Dave Roberts didn't give up 5 runs with getting only 1 out in the first inning. That's Clayton Kershaw. Like, there's certain things. So though you could blame Dusty, and I get it. I totally hear you. And we're filming this like less than 24 hours after it happened. I could hold up a number, and I don't know if you see 3 of them or 4 of me or whatever after last night's game. I don't know this, but Dusty didn't go over the century. That was Kyle Tucker. Okay.
Yep.
Dusty didn't have situations on the mound last night. That was Javier, right? I mean, so there's certain things that you can say, and I agree, but the performance is the performance, right? Now,
but then who left JP France? Who left JP France just a bit too long? Just a bit too long.
Yeah.
As soon as JP France came in, you should have had somebody else warming. Hector Neris should have been warming immediately.
Yeah.
Now, and everyone saying, "Okay, Susie, but we had our starting rotation. Luis Garcia went down. LMJ went down. Urquidy was out for a while. We lost Jose Altuve. We lost Jordan Alvarez. I get it. I understand. Okay.
Right.
Um, Again, though, when you have Chas McCormick that has been putting up top five center field numbers, and you're literally benching him for, don't hate me, Astros fans. I love him as a person. When you're putting in Mauricio Dubon as your center fielder, your utility infielder as your starting center fielder that has worse numbers, maybe we look at that. Okay? Maybe just maybe we look at that. The carousel that we had of Chas McCormick and Jake Myers and Corey Julks, and then you throw in your utility infielder, Mauricio Dubon, that didn't need to happen, guys. It didn't need to happen.
So can we admit right now that if Dubon and Pena walked into a bar and they weren't wearing baseball gear and they got carded, would we agree that probably 5 out of the 10 places that they went to would look at their IDs and go, "There's no way you're 21." Mauricio Dubon doesn't look a day over, right? This
Oh, yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time I see him, I'm like, "Are you old enough to be on a professional field?" Like, good for you that you look so young type thing. But I mean, come on. I mean, can you imagine the security guy in New York going, "Yeah, no, you're not 21, Dubon. There's no way you're get
Oh, that's so
yeah."
funny. Yeah. I love Mauricio Dubon as a person. He has a beautiful, gorgeous wife. He has 2 adorable dogs. Yes, I stalk them on Instagram. Um, I I am just so angry that I have to be angry at the situation that he got put in, because he did wonderfully as the backup second baseman when Jose Altuve went down. Okay, at no point in time did anybody expect Mauricio Dubon to come in and do as well as he did at second base. I admittedly was like, David Hensley, come on down. This is your time to shine. And then when Mauricio was doing well, cool, love it. Stay there in second. I would have loved to, when Altuve came back,
Uh-huh.
um, to kind of rotate Mauricio Dubon in into the shortstop position and the second base position, and give the guys a couple of days off.
Yeah.
I would
So
have loved to see that.
so here's the interesting thing too, Susie. And again, I agree with your assessment because trust me, if anybody understands how you feel this morning, well, depends on how much you drink because I don't drink, but I mean, for the most part, from the Astro perspective, I understand how you feel being a Dodger fan, right? Remember, we just got knocked out 2 weeks ago by a team that might make the World Series. That most of America couldn't name more than 2 people on that team. They would
That
say
is so
Zach Gallen and maybe Christian Walker. Who's Corbin Carroll? I don't know. So
funny. Yeah,
what's Marte? Who does he play
right.
baseball? Is that the guy that
What
retired a
position
couple
what
years
position does
ago?
he play? Yeah.
Mets. So I get it. Here's where you guys lost the series, or here's where Dusty had to change courses. What happened in game 1?
We couldn't score any runs. Couldn't score any
Right.
runs.
And the mighty midget, Jose Altuve, and Alex Breckman, nobody could hit. Not Dusty's fault.
Yeah.
What happened in game 2? Same scenario, right?
And
And
again, I don't discount that. And I really truly believe if during the season things had gone a little bit differently, and people had gotten played a little bit more, maybe you could trust Yainer Diaz to come in that situation, because Maldi stayed in that game, stayed in the game.
but
And for those that are like, "Oh, well, Maldi hit." Mhm, mhm, yeah, but,
so Maldi,
that's the exception, right?
one
That's not
time
the rule.
I was texting Dave and I was saying, "Hey, you got to pull Maldi." But the one thing that you can't discount, and this is the only reason why Maldonado was in that lineup, he handles that pitching staff better than any catcher could. From a defensive perspective, Maldonado is probably one of the best catchers in baseball. You disagree?
No, absolutely. He was, I'll give them that. 2018, 2019, even going into 2021. But if you look at his defensive numbers as it stands now, like this season, he is in the bottom 5 of all of the defensive categories.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those where I I wanna say yes, but I literally can't because Yiner outshined, played better than Maldi in
Susie's
the
English
defensive
class, ladies
categories
and
as
gentlemen.
well. I'm sorry?
Susie's English class, ladies and gentlemen. She teaches math
Yeah.
and English
Yes.
after her podcast. Enjoy.
Yeah. Um, so it's one of those where that's people would be like, "Oh, no, but the defense." It's not though.
No, I'm not talking about the defense. I'm not talking about blocking. I'm not talking about throwing out runners. I'm talking about controlling the pitching staff. Because for the most part, you're hiring a psychologist to play catcher. If he can block the ball, he can throw out a few runners. That's great. If he can do anything at the plate, that's fantastic. But go through the Hall of Fame and look how many catchers are in the Hall of Fame versus other players. Because catchers don't typically produce a lot of offensive numbers. They're not
Yep.
there for
Yeah, well,
right.
and I would agree, and I would somewhat agree with you on that. However, there's how do you know what you got unless you are given the chance?
No,
And
true.
he was never given the chance. He
Trust.
literally only got to catch Hunter Brown, and even at that was taken away from him at points in time in the season, and he literally only got to catch JP France and, Urquidy when he came back. I think he caught CJ twice maybe, but
Yep.
he never caught Fromber, he never caught JV, and you can't tell me that when JV was with the Mets, that JV wasn't calling his own pitches. Like, there's no way that Francisco Alvarez is calling pitches to JV.
Listen, Kate Upton is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I appreciate everything that he's done. And Frammer, you're talking about this guy, right? This guy?
Yeah, yeah.
He's the reason why the pitch clock was created, because that guy would catch a ball back from his catcher, and he'd go about 2.5 minutes before he'd throw the next pitch. I mean, I could cook a whole meal for my family between pitches when he was on. No, I'm teasing, but I get what you're saying. I listen. The Astros are a very good team. They are a very good team. What do I like about what happened yesterday? I think that crosstown rivalries, and in this case, cross state, right, are good for baseball. They're good for the game. Okay. Every year that the Astros have been good, the Rangers have been terrible.
Yep,
Remember, 2 years ago, the Rangers lost over 100 games.
yep.
Um, Rewind the clock to 2010, 2011, when the Rangers were good, the Astros were terrible. Overall, I think this is great for baseball.
Oh, yeah.
This is a phenomenal thing for baseball as a whole. Now, to be on the losing side of it, that sucks. Okay. That sucks as bad as Jonah Hine getting hit in a place that got not being treated nicely. It's terrible. Okay. I get
Yep.
it. Uh, but it's good for baseball
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
guess what? Everybody's going to be talking about Texas next season. They're going to be saying, okay, is it going to be the Astros? Or going to be the Rangers that are going to win the division? That's phenomenal. They're not talking about the Angels. They're not talking about the A's. I mean, you saw me this morning with my e-card. I already eliminated the A's for next season. Did you appreciate that, by the way?
I did. Well, I actually kinda like the A's, and they've got some young kids that can bop, so, I'll be
They had over 110 losses. They don't know where they're going to play. Vegas, Oakland, Vegas, Oakland. Who
that
knows?
that's true, but like I said, they got some youngins that can bop over there, like Brett Rooker. Maybe don't go on, MLB Network and give away your, strategies. I'm just I okay, 'cause you'd been hot for quite some time, and then you went on MLB Network and was like, "Yeah, here are all of the zones that I don't hit well." "Sir,
Yeah,
what's happening? What don't do that again. Don't do that again,
yeah.
okay?"
We're going,
Um,
all righty. I'll
yeah,
just pause this. Let's make some notes. Got it.
yeah. But it was one of those situations this season that again I understand that Maldi handled the pitching staff and that's why he was there, but at some point in time, how do you expect the rookie to learn if you don't let the rookie do any of the things? Like the rookies can't, he's going to absorb all the knowledge that he can from the bench, but, like after the game he's going to ask the question, and so it's one of those things where the real ones know I've been screaming this since last season when Christian Vasquez came came on the team. and didn't really get to play.
Yeah.
And, Trey Mancini came over and Yuli's still over there at first. I'm like, we're not gonna share some time and get Yuli off his feet so that he can rest. And everyone's like, see, in the postseason, Yuli's so good. Well, Yuli's so good because he got to rest, guys. Got to
Yeah.
rest. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But so I had been screaming. I've been screaming this for last. Anyways, but it's one of those things where I get it. I understand. Like, could we platoon some guys? Can we get them off their feet just a little bit? I'm not saying to replace the rookie the entire time. Like, I didn't expect that, but I did expect a little bit more, especially after he showed you what he could do with that bat. And again, like the fact that runs were at a premium sometimes. He's right there. He's right there. He's sitting on the bench. It's just it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
I
But
will tell you this: if I was the ownership of the Astros, and if they call me, they're probably gonna get my voicemail anyways because I'm busy working
yep,
with you.
yeah,
But if I'm the ownership of the Astros, I'm sitting down with some of my key players, some of my younger players, and saying, "Hey, you're going to take 2 weeks off, and then you're going to be down in the Dominican League or down in the Mexican League or whatever. I want you to work on blah blah blah." And that's Dubon, that's Pena, because Pena's batting average was not what Pena's batting average
yeah.
normally.
No, Pena does not need to go to Winter League. Pena needs to go to Driveline, and he needs to get hooked up to all of the machines or whatever, and just all of the batting. Just okay. You
Yeah.
see a slider,
Um,
you spit on it. Just go away.
I mean, the guy can bench press a car, but he can't put a bat on a ball right now.
Mhm.
Maybe Diaz, take some of your younger guys, and then also take some of your guys like Breckman and Altuve, and say, "Hey, have some of these younger kids over for dinner once a month. I want you to talk baseball with them. I want your wives and their wives to get to know each other, and I want you to take them into your living room and do nothing but talk baseball and mentor them, prepare them for what they're going to see, going forward."
Yeah, yeah,
That's
for
the way.
sure. And I think at parts of the season, and I actually do think that they do kind of hang out
Uh-huh.
just as friends, because I honestly do think that the clubhouse, um, they do genuinely like each other. And so I think it'll be interesting to see what comes out in the off season about the clubhouse and the whole situation. And so I'll be interested to see what happens there.
Okay. So now, if I promoted you from manager to general manager,
Uh-huh.
now that the season's over, now keep in mind, I'm asking you this question less than 24 hours. You're still allowed to throw a little salt in that wound, right? Who do you keep and who do you send packing? And who do you go after?
Um John Singleton, I love you. I love your story, but I'm gonna have to DFA you. That's not it wasn't a great look, and I don't know how that can be fixed, because I would love for him to come back in some aspect, but I don't know if that would work out
Okay.
as well. Um at this point in time, I would probably be trading Jake Myers
Oh, okay.
and see what we can get for him, because
Okay.
I truly believe that on a team, Jake Myers is just starting center fielder, and I think with everyday play, he can get back to that everyday production role that he had before he got hurt.
Okay.
And again, that carousel that we had, I think it iced him the most.
Okay.
So I think we trade Jake Myers in the offseason. Um, I would love a backup catcher,
Okay.
a backup veteran catcher that could help, but that would not get his feelings hurt if he was not the starting catcher.
We'll give you
Uh,
Austin.
I'm sorry?
We'll give you Austin Barnes right now. All you got to do is give us a couple fungo bats and batting practice balls.
Hey, he hit a couple of dingers this season.
Yeah, I think his batting average was maybe less than probably less than your weight. So just keep that in mind.
So
I
it
think his bat
does
like
does it rival
7.
Maldi's? Does it
Oh
that's
no.
that's me.
Maldonado has 3 times the batting average.
Oh my. Well
Uh,
that I'm gonna have to fact check you on. Bill. I don't know about that.
He was awful. He was awful. Do you keep Kate Upton?
We have to. We have to because he's signed for another, I wanna say at least a year. I wanna say he signed for another 2 years though, but
Doesn't make
The Mets are paying his salary, so I mean, at this point in time, we have JV for, like, 17 mil a year,
yeah.
so, yeah, we're definitely gonna keep him. Unpopular opinion slash maybe popular opinion, depending on how you take it. I am seriously thinking about packaging Fromber with somebody and seeing what we can get for Fromber, because I think that we could probably get a decent to slash good return on Fromber. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know if we could package Fromber and Maldi together, and maybe that would be, a thing, but, like I said, he was the most adamant about using Maldi as his personal catcher, and I'm like, "Why? It's not helping you. It's not you're giving j w at this point in time, just put Yiner in. It literally can't be any worse. Like,
So
you're giving up home runs at a I say ridiculous clip. A ridiculous clip for the ground ball pitcher that he is. But I think we're gonna have, like, 8 starting pitchers next season, and I don't know where we're gonna put all of them.
long relief.
Yeah.
You keep some of them for long relief.
Well, I think ultimately I wanna put LMJ in the bullpen because we only have Ryan Presley for another season, and I would love to see Brian Abreu move into the quote unquote "closer" role and LMJ be the setup guy, but I realize that his contract is not a setup guy contract. It's a lot of money for him, but, it is what it is at this point. But I would love to see Hunter Brown in that kind of swingman role because I think he would thrive in there, and I think that's where he got into trouble this season was he was expected to go as long as he could, and I think if they gave him the parameters of, "Hey, we only expect 3 to 4 innings out of you.
Right. Right. So
Let it eat."
do you take do you go after Shohei?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't go after Shohei. I honestly don't think that Jim Crane will go after any of the big name free agent starting pitchers that are gonna be on the market. I would love to see Corbin Burns down here. I would love that. He's not gonna be he won't be paid for that. Everyone's like, "Go for Blake Snell." And my worry about Blake Snell is the fact that, yes, he will technically probably win his, Cy the Cy Young, but, like, the years between the Cy Youngs, are we gonna revert back to that? Because the years between the Cy Youngs weren't great. So, like, I
Right.
don't know which Blake Snell I'm gonna get, and that's my worry, and then, uh oh, why am I blanking on his name? 6'8" from the Rays, um,
Oh,
why am I blanking?
Tyler Glasnow.
Tyler Glasnow, thank you. I'm like, Ty something, the rumors are out that he will probably get traded, and I look at him and I'm like, "Ooh, that's nice, like, that would be really good, but you're always hurt, and I already have one of those in LMJ, so I don't know if I wanna take the chance on that either," So, like I said, I don't know what we're gonna do with our starting rotation. I think Jose Urquidy will probably be traded or done something with, um
Hey, hey, LMJ has a great foundation that we're trying to work with when we get to Houston. Just so
oh,
that yeah.
fun. Alright, well, that'll be I look forward to seeing that, so, but we are running out of time, Bill. I did set my
Yes.
alarm, so that's what you heard.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
we could do this all
so
day long, but unfortunately, we
yeah,
gotta get to other stuff. Right?
so we're gonna wrap up. Bill, tell the people where they can find you again on the social medias.
Okay, so on X, I still want to call it Twitter. It's at Top Fan, right? Top Fan Rivalry.
Mhm.
Um, on Instagram, you can find me. You can find the company at Top Fan Rivalry. You can find me at Bill at Top Fan Rivalry or Bill dot Top Fan Rivalry. That's where I can share a little bit more of me outside of just the brand.
Right?
Uh, and so you can find us there. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on TikTok. All at Top Fan Rivalry. So
Alright.
yeah, we're
So,
there.
and again, I will link all of those,
Please.
usernames in the descriptions so that you guys can go, drop Bill a follow and a like. Do you guys have a YouTube channel or no?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes, also YouTube. Same.
perfect.
Top Fan Rivalry. Correct.
Okay, so I will drop all of those in the description. So go find those. Click on like, follow, do all of those things because it's good. It's good. It's good community over there. Top Fan Rivalry. So again, Bill, thank you so
Uh,
much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with me about this. And I look forward to working with you in the future.
I look forward to working with you as well. And I think we ought to do this again after the end of the World Series just to kind of break down the World Series.
For sure. For sure.
Because
I would love that.
we know that the Astros and we know that the Dodgers will not be in this World Series this year, barring any unforeseen event.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
yes, thank you for having me on. This has been such a nice thing. It's been such a blessing to get to know you and to get to know everybody in the community. I look forward to some stuff in the future, and we will talk very, very soon.
For sure. So again, I will drop all of the links and whatnot in the show description below. And you get like two times the episodes this week. That's awesome because I know you've been starving for Susie content. I know, guys. So
That's
again, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Like, subscribe, follow, review, do all of those fun things, and yay baseball!
yay baseball.